What's up, guys? This is Tabletop Vibes, and today we're taking a look at Founders by This Way Games. Jason, what do you think?
So this one is a direct sequel, but standalone game to Ice, which is their previous release game. So that game, fantastic. This one follows right suit, fantastic game. And like I said, it's a direct sequel. So in Ice, you're starting to dig through the ice, and you find the effigy? Artifice. Not effigy. No. Artifice. And with this game, you are using your the Artifice as your basically main power source. Edifice. Thank you. As the main power source, and you're building out your city. Yeah. So...
it's super cool. I mean, you have cities, and then you also have districts, and they're represented by tiles. This is kind of a polyomino game. I finally said it correctly. And so, and you take turns. It could play up to 5 players. And what did you think?
So it's pretty good. Like I said, the basic mechanics. Like I said, we have these districts, which are single triangles. We have the city tiles, which are 3 triangles. And there's going to be 5 colors in the game. And you're going to have all the colors represented by every tile on 2 sides. One's going to have a double-sided color. The other one's going to have single. And then you're going to be placing these tiles back and forth. But how the game is arranged, you'll be putting tiles on your opponent's player mats. And you can only pick from your opponent's player mats. You can't pick from the ones in front of you. So it's
unless
a little bit of
you have a
certain
choice. Ability.
Yes.
Which then gives you the option to be able to look at your tile on your board. And then if you do that and you play it off your board, then you can also, you get to put one back.
Right.
Because you're placing tiles onto the main board, and you're pulling tiles from opponent's boards.
Right. So he's leaning into there's some asymmetric abilities here. So that,
which is just fun.
Right. So one of them was like that. One that I had was I could kind of violate some of the placement rules, but I was limited the amount of times.
Yeah, he could play off the board and hang over just a little bit.
Right.
It's all that
ice. There's one where there's a yak, where you can reserve spaces. We didn't play with that one.
Yeah, he's super cool. You had to spend a chip or a token every time you hung off over the board, right? Was that what it was?
Right.
Yeah. And I want to play with the yak next time.
Yeah. So, and there's a couple other ones in there, and we'll show videos of those.
Right.
But, it's really kind of cool that everybody sort of has this different abilities in order to accomplish their goals.
Right. And it's polyomino tile-laid placing game and social deduction, which I don't think I've seen very many of those mashed together.
Right.
So, like, you have hidden...
the hidden goals.
Hidden goals. Yeah. So where, like, there are different shapes on the board that you're trying to get your color and match those.
Right. So there's all these different types of arrangements, kind of zones of control. They're trying to meet these are secret, and you have 2 different colors.
Right.
And so the idea is that you want to try to put the right color tiles in the right color position so that you maximize the zone of controls that you have in the area, but it's hidden. Nobody knows that you're doing that.
The orientation is so key.
Right.
And you kept getting smacked with that. Every time you picked up a tile, he was like, it's the wrong orientation.
Exactly. Always 180 wrong. Yep, that's what it was. So the other kind of cool thing about this is in a 3, 4, and 5-player game, you're always going to have an opponent have a same color as you, but you don't know that.
Right.
So
we're trying to figure it out.
Right. So it's like, okay, I'm going to try to help my opponent because it also helps me, but I don't want to help them too much. But you don't know that the exact arrangement that they're going for. So there's literally a lot of kind of, I want to take that, but I don't. But, it's a lot of clever figuring out.
Right. And the other thing is, or at least with our first game, we only had 32 tiles.
Yes.
Throughout the whole game.
Yep.
And so I thought that was kind of really unique because you have a ton of tiles, but you only get to use 32 of them.
Right. So, a 45-minute game or something like that.
Yeah. And after we figured it out, we moved through 3 rounds. We played it's 4 rounds.
4 rounds.
But we moved through it really quick.
Yeah. So also on the board, also in light of the Ice and Founders in this way environment, you have your classic artifact spots. So these are your little bonuses areas. And you have achievement, which allows you to put a single district tile of any color in any legal space. You have harmony, which you will take a tile and you cover over another district tile of a different color.
Ruining someone's color play.
Right. And you have philosophical...
We kept saying falafel.
Yes, not falafel. It's
Philatites.
And
it's philosophical.
There you go.
Nailed it!
Yeah, there you go. And that one gives you some renown points, which are your bonus points at the end of the game.
Which is how you win, is having the most renown points at the end.
Right.
Yeah, and then so the fun other part with it as well is when you're doing the scoring of it, you're taking, well, in our game, you're taking the 2 colors you have and you're scoring together in a 2-player game. In a 3+ game, you're doing the lesser than kind of combination.
Right. So what you do is you take the 2
which
colors.
is super cool.
You say who has the lesser of the 2 values. Both people get that score, but the person who had the more of it gets 1 more point. So if you had, let's say, 9 and 15, each player would get 9. The person with the most would get a bonus point 10. So you'd have 9 and 10. But you would do that for both your colors. You sum up those 2 and get your final score.
So you're incentivized not to just dominate one of the 2 of your colors. You want to try to keep them balanced.
Yeah, balance is probably the best case to do this. Then there's some also opportunities for extra points throughout the game.
Yeah, there is. And comboing.
Right, absolutely.
With the bonuses.
Yes. So you can, when you put tiles out, if you have a hole in there, you develop a
plaza.
Plaza, that's right, and you get to put a statue.
Yes.
If the areas tiles surrounding the open space have a majority color. So if you have majority blue, you would put a blue statue, and that would gain you bonus points at the end when you're calculating for how many blue statues you have, or red statues, or yellow statues.
Yeah, you really focused on that area.
Yep.
I got lucky on some, and then I planned out an entire turn to get one, and Jason figured it out, and then commandeered that.
Yeah.
He foundered it.
My founder was superior.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
And then we got the expansion.
And then, there's and also an expansion that helps it play 5 players, I believe. And it extends the board out more, and you get guild cards.
Yep.
And so it's called Rise of the Guilds.
Right. How the guild cards work.
And so, the guild cards work. They are actually goal cards that are known for everybody. Everybody can do it.
Yep. Public goals.
Public goals. That's the word I was searching for. And so they're I think there's a couple of them on the board, and when they're in 6 groups, of districts, 6 district grouping, and when you complete it, you put a statue on it.
I don't know.
Or you put a token on it, showing that you can no longer score this goal card.
Right. So it's going to be like, you need 1 red and 1 yellow and 1 empty space and 2 blue and a green.
Exactly.
And then you would score that interest. You would take the card, you would get those renown points, put them on your sheet, and then you'd flip another gold card over. And this allows just more play rather than just relying only on those end goals.
I think it's more replayability as well, and a little bit more strategy, which it already has a really good strategy.
Oh, yeah.
It also has a decent amount of AP if you wanted to know this guy.
Yeah, especially with the rotation.
Yeah, he was thinking through it. Because it gets kind of difficult. I will say it gets difficult to visualize my goal, of what orientation and where it needs to be. So it gets a little dicey.
Right.
We were playing 2 players, so if we were playing 4 or 5 players, it's going to be, I think, a little bit harder to visualize my goal.
Right, and because of your goals, you're actually end up playing all over the entire map. It's not just, choose one section and play there. You're really playing everywhere on the map.
Right. I mean,
you have picking the best slice at the end.
Yeah, you have to zone out from the initial lighthouse or beacon of hope in the foundering snow. And then you work out from there, and then you can build off other people's tiles. But it's a blast.
Oh, yeah,
it's a great game. It was just on Kickstarter. I'm pretty sure they'll probably end up doing a late pledge, I would assume. And so definitely check it out.
It's definitely a worthwhile sequel.
Yeah,
to Ice.
And it plays it plays quick.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth adding to the Ice Founders collection. So thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and check it out. We'll catch you next time.